I don't use Instagram anymore as just a platform for metrics. I don't use it just as a selling platform. There's so much more to it. Here's a story that I've actually probably never told. I don't regret selling the course, not at all, because even with a small account, I've worked with lots of brands. And metrics that I actually care about are number one, think about how you consume. When's the last time you found an account that you really actually liked? We all know Instagram has changed. The reach isn't the same. The features aren't the same. And trust me, as someone who would track metrics, because I did that for a lot of my clients back in the Instagram days, it's just not something that I'm doing anymore. Some of you may know this, but I sold a course, and here's a story that I've actually probably never told. I don't regret selling the course, not at all, because at the moment, that's all I wanted to do. I was super passionate about it. I knew it was going to help so many people. Oh, the sun is out in Lisbon. I realized something very quickly. When you are selling education is not something that is evergreen, meaning the person won't always stay there because they get what they want and they leave. Let's say, for example, you want to learn how to surf. You find someone that's the best surf instructor out there. He teaches you everything that you need to know. The moment that you know how to surf, that person is no longer as valuable to you as they were on day one. This doesn't fit my head. But I want oh, I like this one. Obrigada. I was walking and those hats looked cute, so I got that brown one. What happens there is that if you are wanting to build an audience, which is something that I think is just so valuable, if you're focused on pushing that one thing that you're selling, well, you're just creating educational value, and as soon as the person grabs what they need, it's time to go. We got a little acai bowl because we're out of breakfast in the hotel apartment co-work that we're staying at here in Lisbon. So that's what I learned. I'm not saying that I'm never, ever, ever going to maybe have another course. Never say never. But at the moment, no. And if I did, I'd have to structure it in such a way where it's not just a course, because honestly, right now, I just feel like it's a bit, it's not saturated. I don't think industries are saturated. I just don't think that's specifically what I want for my brand and for my business. But throughout that story was specifically what I learned, that real connections, a real audience is what matters. So I don't use Instagram anymore as just a platform for metrics. I don't use it just as a selling platform. There's so much more to it, especially now where things are so different. But building a real audience means actually having real connections. And at the end of the day, I think that's what these platforms are built for. Those real connections, though, that's what I mean. Lately, I've been Those real connections, though. I mean, that's what it's all about. Lately, I've been traveling and knowing that in different places, you guys are reaching out and saying, hey, let's meet up. To me, that means the world. And it's not only as I was doing before, where it was just like educational content. It's more of my journey, like the fun things that are happening throughout all these different months. And most importantly, also learning from you guys and having like that double way communication. My teeth after that acai look a little purple, and I definitely still have a brain freeze. Things I value on my Instagram now more than ever, and metrics that I actually care about, are number one, the views on my story. If someone's viewing your story, if someone's interacting with your polls, that's completely different. It's no longer the reach, it's the likes, the comments. None of that stuff is really what matters. But if they're actually staying there day by day, like following your journey, interacting, being a part of that conversation, that's different. And I have to add that most of the time people think that you need a big brand to do those big brand deals, and that's definitely not the case. Even with a small account, I've worked with lots of brands. The way I see it now, Instagram is my day-to-day. Instagram is where I document. It's where everything is happening. It's where the people that have already found me, that's where they'll stay. That's where they'll connect. But you find me through YouTube. And that's one thing that even from day one has never changed. YouTube is still my primary platform. YouTube is still the platform that attracts people in. YouTube is the platform that grabs that traffic. It's never been Instagram for me, and that's one thing that I'm thankful for, and one thing that I realize now more than ever, because I don't see Instagram as a platform where you generate new people, where you attract in new followers. No, on the contrary, Instagram is that place where you keep them, where you build that audience, where you create those real connections. And if you think about it, even with the features, that's at the end what the platform is built for. It's for those quick connections, for those daily updates, for like that storytelling. But if you want to get deep, if you really, really want to get to know the person, if you want to hear a longer story, if you want to spend your days with them and really like click with that person, for me, for example, it happens right here on YouTube. So no matter the algorithm change, no matter what features come, don't come, leave, or added the verification that now you can pay for, it's all something that if you're using it for the real audience, the real connections, as I am, then those changes actually shouldn't even matter.
We about to make it happen.